Hey guys, this is Hellhades. This is another Dragon Champions video. This is going to be a video where I invite Xery on to talk about the patch which has just dropped, just on live. Massive patch, brilliant patch for this game. Before we go into that, I've got two things, guys. If you are new to Dragon Champions watching this, you can come in up the top right here into settings, use promo code and type Hellhades. You have to be less than level 15 to do this. If you put that in there, you're going to get about $10 of free rewards, including a free champion. So that's a cool way to start the game. The other thing, guys, is I'm going to be doing a live stream on Dragon Champions this Friday. So a couple of days' time. And we are going to be able to give away Dracoins in the game. So Dracoins is the currency here, which allows you to buy things like chests and new champion shards. Let me just get through this so I can show you. So if you see the chests here, each of them are worth between 30 and 300 Dracoins. The one for Hero Chest is 300. You're going to have the chance to win between 300 and 2,700 Dracoins on my stream, which if you were buying at full price is like 30 odd pounds. So that's going to be this Friday. 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. EST. Come and join me. I'm going to be starting a new account to do that as well, so that all the new guys have got kind of like a bit of a tutorial. See you there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you later. Hey guys, this is Hellhades. This is going to be another Dragon Champions video. So we've got Xery on the channel today. He is all things knowledge about Dragon Champions. I've dragged him in because we have got a big patch landing this week, and really I just want to get his thoughts on it and perhaps from his experience understand what's going to be the best things about this patch to really try and kind of push this game on. So welcome, Xery. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor to be here with you. Been watching you since you started doing raid videos, so thank you so much to be here. It's amazing.
Oh, thanks. Well, look, for those that haven't sort of found your channel in the past, and obviously I'll link it below, guys, but just give people a quick kind of intro to yourself. Like, how have you got into this game? What other things have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been playing mobile games for a long time. You know, didn't really get into YouTube till this game launched. Kind of got into this game. Played a lot of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, Marvel Strike Force, dabbled in Raid. Nearly not on your level, but...
Yeah, so we were just saying before you came on air. So I mean, I've actually got 7 guilds now, which is crazy. Like, it feels like it's just just like growing more and more. And they range right from players that have just started the game a couple of weeks ago. We've got 1 guild just full of new players, up to my guild and we've actually got 2 at the same level where we're raiding tier 7 like comfortably now. Well, let's jump into then patch 1.3.0, literally due to drop in the next couple of days. So it feels like to me this is the biggest patch that I've seen come through, certainly with some real changes to the game that I think is going to make an impact right from new player through to end game.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. So I think let's run through. I've got the kind of the list of things up in front of me, but I think we're going to call out just some of the big ones. So Battlegrounds is probably the first one for me. Battlegrounds came into the game and then was removed from the game because the feedback was it wasn't really quite in the right place. There's a lot of kind of delays waiting to get into Battleground. And although I actually think the concept was brilliant and very different from what I see in a lot of different gacha games that are out there, you know, like a live PvP mode, it was just probably a bit too long for a mobile game. You know, the sort of time invested was too long. You had to be there for a decent chunk of time and invest that time into the actual battleground, which doesn't really fall in line with the mobile games in this genre. So give us a kind of feel of what they're going to do as the tweak.
Yeah, and you know what? I was with you. I was in the minority on the first Battleground. I absolutely loved it. The strategy that went into it was really good, but the feedback they received had to do a lot with the connection, connectivity. People who had a slower connection than the other person pretty much were at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
And they would lose constantly, creating a lot of frustration. And like you said, the timing was off. And what they really did is they kind of kept the same model. So if you played any of the Battlegrounds before, the same model looks identical almost, but they've taken out the connectivity part and they've made it a lot more interactive, and you can do it at your own pace. You don't have to sit there and be queued for hours. You can register, you can set your defense, and you can attack.
So in essence, then, the way they've changed it is that you set your own defense ahead of time. You register to go into the battleground, and then you do your offense as and when it suits you against like a predetermined enemy defense, which is a live person.
Correct. Like the way they have it set up now is you're going to get a notification that says register for Battlegrounds. That phase will take 24 hours. So you click registration and you kind of just sit there for a little bit. And then the next phase will also be 24 hours, and it's your defensive phase. That's where you can put in your best teams on defense, and you can use your teams on defense and offense. So people need to know that from the beginning. It's awesome. And it also allows the matchmaking to work, because then I could be pitted against somebody like you who's in a completely different time zone as me, and we don't have to worry about connection or who's going to go. It's just you get in your attacks, and then you wait. I mean, there's a lot of waiting involved in it, but for what the feedback they got, they had to do it this way to make it successful, and I think it's going to work out really well.
Oh, nice. I'm looking forward to it. I think it was one of the things I was most keen about when they launched it the first time. It didn't quite land, but the actual game mode I was really keen on. So that sounds good.
Yes.
So the next one I've got on the list then is reworked tournaments. Tournaments in the game are, I mean, they're consistently frequent, and they're a good way to earn some pretty nice rewards and that type of thing. Yeah. The only thing is, actually I can't pull one up. There's not one available. But the only thing is, you can lose a lot of points either being offline, or you might just go in and do a few hits and think, right, well, I can kind of just leave it and I'm done. What's the change that they're going to bring in here?
Yeah. And I was much like you with tournaments. I'd go in and I'd wait for the last of the tournament, do 2 or 3 battles, finish in the top 30, and be done with it. What they're going to change in this is, and for everybody who's ever played Marvel Strike Force, it's much like their Blitz mode. And what happens now is you don't lose points if you lose a battle, because a lot of times people were afraid to go in and fight because they're like, well, maybe I could beat this team, maybe I couldn't, but I don't want to take the loss in points and lose rewards. Now, if you lose, essentially, you're still going to kind of lose progression because they have a multiplier in it. So if you win 4 battles in a row, you now will earn double points towards your rewards. So that's kind of a change there. And you instead of maybe having a 4 multiplier, you'll go down to a 1 multiplier, but you don't lose any overall point. So that's really good, because then you can have a lot more fun with it.
Yeah, sure.
And then when you go in and actually play the event, what happens is you now have tiers. So now if the tournament lasts 4 days, you don't have to wait till the 4th day to get rewards. You're going to get rewards throughout the whole thing by hitting certain tier levels on points. You hit 1,000 tournament points, you get a reward, and it's the same thing here.
So you're building it up in your own time. In essence, you can just absolutely sort of push and farm for as much as you want to, or as much time as you want to, and you'll continuously get those points. That's cool. And in terms of rewards, have they kind of dropped anything there in terms of changed levels of rewards that you know of?
From the test server, what we've seen is it's much like, all right, you hit the lowest level, you'll get like a chest, and that chest might include some gold, some small amount of drop coins, maybe a hero shard if that tournament has a hero in it, and then some artifact chest keys. And as you progress, you get more and more and more. And like the 2 or 3 highest tiers, we now have a character, Zelenar, who is exclusive to tournaments. The only way you can unlock him is hitting those high tier rewards in tournaments. So you're going to get an exclusive character for all your hard work and grinding.
And actually, he looks pretty good, doesn't he? I've seen some of the kind of initial view of his skill set. It looks pretty useful.
Yes, he. Anybody who played World of Warcraft, I know you dabbled in that too, right?
I played World of Warcraft for years. Yeah.
He is a shaman. His move kit is like the shaman. It's totally based off the power of his totems. The totems he has up gives him powers. He has like the chain lightning, which decreases in defense. There's a chance to repeat on that chain lightning attack. Really interesting.
That's definitely an interesting one to bring in. Like, there's nothing like that in the game right now, is there? Like shaman style champion with totems and things, which It's cool. I mean, obviously, a lot of the visual on this is World of Warcraft-esque.
Yeah.
But yeah,
for
I
sure.
like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So next thing is then they talk about revising power rankings. But what they've said here is that they're going to revise the power rankings, or there's going to be a new formula. Don't worry, it's not going to change the stats, but we did change the formula of how the total power is calculated, and now it demonstrates heroes' actual power with more precision. So, what do you see from that? What sort of change do you think that's actually going to make to the game?
Well, what it's going to do is, and there's not really a lot of noticeable tweaks. Like on my test account, for example, I have every single character gear 11 ready to go, and I went from like 1.4 million down to like 1.38 million. So it doesn't make like a huge overall thing, but what it does is if you have a legendary character like a buff or a flame, their power is greater. So it's based on like if you've grinding out a character, it's kind of more worth it.
Yeah.
And it also is going to make matchmaking better. If you have a character unlocked, let's say, a lot of people won't build up characters so they can fight easier people in tournaments and things like that. And they're trying to get away from that. And it's going to make matchmaking, especially like in arena, tower mode, battlegrounds coming up. It's going to make it more fluid and kind of smooth and streamline it a little bit more from everything I've experienced so far. I like hero collectors because I like to collect the heroes. I like to try them out. I like to do the different team comps. And it doesn't hurt you from doing this. It's kind of going to match you. Like if you have a certain character only gear level 50 because you just want to try him out in a lower level raid, they're going to try to match you with somebody around that 50 mark too. It's much more intricate from what I've understood, and I haven't experienced any downfalls with it so far.
Okay, that sounds good. So next thing I've got here then on the list is achievements and like free rewards. So when everyone loves free stuff,
Absolutely.
and there's a period of time where basically after a while you've kind of done your achievements and all of that starts to drop away. You still get your dailies and stuff, but looks like they're just adding in like the next tier of free rewards for accomplishing things in the game, right?
Correct. Yep. And a lot of them, like on the tester, which I've seen, is unlocking this character, you'll just get some bonus stuff. Getting this character to gear 11, you'll get some bonus stuff, and it's free stuff. So I mean, you really can't complain, even if it's a couple shards or a chest key or something. It's free. Yeah. So let's take it.
I mean, what I say to a lot of the people that are kind of new to the game is this game can be really low spend or free to play friendly if you want it to be. Certainly more so than other games that I play. And yeah, I mean, Raid would be one I'd call out. Like Raid really is not.
No.
But it feels like this is another way again of extending that. So once you get some of these new characters coming through, the achievements, obviously, as you said there, you get some extra goodies for nothing really, just for playing the game. So
the big thing to take away from this is they're trying to keep people like engaged, and they're trying to. Some people love to just I have all the achievements done. That's like their big honor in this game, and I think it's going to just help people kind of give them more to do. Oh, I haven't done that yet. Let me go back and do it so I can get my 2-page boots.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess in a similar light, then they're talking about the daily quest. They're just kind of making a couple of changes at the sort of end game version of that. So, you were explaining about actually getting some artifact keys instead of Torchroom shards.
Yeah, and it's huge. It's going to start when you hit level 60. At level 60, you're going to have Corcorum 7-star. Yeah. So what that did is just convert to Star Shop currency, which does help you buy some endgame gear. But these artifacts are extremely hard to come by. They're very costly to upgrade. And getting essentially an artifact chest every 2 days is going to be extremely beneficial to help you continue the grind in Battlegrounds, Arena, Tower. It's just a really good way to make something that was kind of hard and a kind of pain in the butt to get an upgrade easier for some people. So it's huge.
Yeah, nice. No, that one's definitely one that, basically, I'll just show it on my screen here. So basically what's been happening is you get these, basically you get extra star rewards once you've finished a character. So you see here, I've got some star rewards and I can go and spend that in the star shop. But for some characters, just you finish that character so early in the game, and it feels like they keep paying out the same reward. Well, you'd much rather have artifact chests than you would some of these star rewards. Well, the other kind of big change that I've seen is, again, it's more like an end game change, but it looks like we're pushing from tier 11 gear to the next step. So I don't think they're calling it tier 12, but basically it's an upgrade to tier 11 gear. And I've got a bunch of champions now which are tier 11 geared. Not all of them like yourself, or not most of them, but I've probably got a good like 15 champions that have got tier 11 gear now.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Which is a lot. It's a bit of a grind, but for those that have got those champions, and I use a kind of a core set of probably 7 or 8 in most of the content that I run, because they're just my best geared champions with my best runes. Being able to upgrade them further still, it's just pretty awesome, I think.
It's huge,
and gives us that reason to actually run tier 8 raids, because you're saying that a lot of that gear is going to be dropping in tier 8s.
Yes. Yep. It does come from tier 8. The price points on this, because there is going to be a shop where you can buy this. I'm calling it like gear 11 plus.
Yeah.
Gear is extremely expensive. It's all Drawcoin purchases.
Okay.
And to get like a fully crafted piece, it's like in the test server, and it's all subject to change, of course, but it's like 200k Drawcoins to get a fully crafted piece of this gear.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
What's that in actual money? That's
like $300, $400,
that's
maybe
insane.
more. Yeah, but they're trying to deter people from just going in and being able to buy it all.
Okay.
Which is I like that a lot. I feel there should be some grind to it, but running T8 now, we have a reason to, because if you're getting a couple shards from this every time you run T8, it's going to be worth the pain in the butt it is right now to do T8. But that's not the only place you can get it. They are going to put some of them in farmable nodes in the campaign. There's going to be tournaments. You have to be level 80, I believe, to do them. But there's going to be tournaments for this gear, and it's going to be really kind of positive. And what I've seen, and I'm sure you've experienced too, in a lot of these games, is they release like new content. Well, all of a sudden they drop this new raid, and they'll drop 2 or 3 gear levels on us, and we're just kind of sit back in shock, like, where do we start? They're kind of gradually bringing out this gear tier to kind of let people kind of amp up for when they do drop more content. So I like the way they're doing it, and I really don't see a drawback to how they're releasing it.
You don't have to go out and spend this sort of crazy amount of money to buy the pieces. If you can raid it, and it's meant to be end game gear, we're not talking about, you're coming in, you're level 50, and you should be picking this stuff up. Actually, what I've experienced, I played the game for probably 6 months, 6-7 months.
You're doing good then. You're doing real good for 6-7 months.
Yeah, I've been pretty into it, to be fair. It is my second game, but I play it daily. And basically, I've slowly but surely focused on a champion at a time, got my gear together, invested my energy in that way. I've invested some Drawcoins as well, obviously, but I've never been in a position I felt like I've had to really whale out a load of cash. And it feels like, again, with this new drop of gear, okay, you could go and whale out a load of cash, or you just keep your grind going and focus on the champion that you want to upgrade one at a time, and then it won't be crazy amount of time before you actually get there and start to advance again.
Absolutely, and that's my favorite part of the game. Like, that's why I like Raid so much, is because I love the grind. Like this, when you have to grind something, you're so much more invested in the character or the champion. You feel like you've put so much into them that you want to see them succeed.
Okay, cool. And the last thing I wanted to pick out on then was, I know there's a whole bunch of champion changes and buffs and nerfs and what have you. Right. But just for those that are kind of earlier game, it felt like there was one champion that's just had a really nice little change. So Xery, who is one of the starter champions,
yes,
feels like a pretty decent buff there.
Yeah. Now, what they did is, on his basic, he used to inflict burning, which no elf had any sort of synergy with whatsoever. So it's kind of like, why does this character have it? Now he inflicts blind on a basic ability. That's huge, really, really big, especially for your grind through tower, your grind through the campaign nodes. increasing your survivability, that's how you make it in these games, essentially, and when you first start out. So that little touch is really, really good to what it brings to him, make him a little more viable, because he was always kind of like one thing away.
Before you get Soleus, it was always pretty tough.
It was.
So just to have someone else that's got usability and a bit more, just a bit more in his kit that's going to actually help you get through the early game. I like it. Look, man, thank you for your insight. Obviously, I know you're massively invested into the game, and if ever I'm looking for a guide, I go to your channel. So that's
thank you very much.
It's been a real pleasure having you on. I guess just as like a parting comment, if people want to catch you, where can they catch you? And you mentioned streaming there as well. How frequently do you do stuff like that?
I took a step back from streaming because I was doing like legendary events, or I'd stream like Let's Jump On, and we can screw around with the test server. But we had that lull there for a little bit. Everybody's kind of caught up. So I'm going to start streaming again on a weekly basis to do the Battlegrounds for sure. My main platform, I haven't dabbled into Twitch or anything yet. I'm kind of nervous to take that jump, but I've been doing my streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I try to get out a video at least 4 to 5 times a week. So got some content there.
Yeah, nice. Well, look, guys, I will link Xery in the description below. Go and check out his channel. Drop him a subscribe. If you're loving this game, he's basically your go-to for champion guides. Pretty much the stuff you would look to me for in Raid. He's a guy I'd go to in Dragon Champions. So go and check him out. Look, Xery, thanks for coming on again, man.
Well, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here.
No worries. We'll catch you soon.
All right. Take care, bud.